Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here today on our Seeking Direction meditation and information. So, seeking direction, what does that mean? Well, we all want to know where we're going and what it is that we want to create in our life. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for being here. And it's one of those weird things that we're not really taught how to move forward in our life. We've been taught to just be a certain way, get educated, then you'll get a job and, hopefully we get into a relationship and everything just sort of falls into place and everything is good. But we're never really taught how to navigate that. We're just taught to do these things and then hopefully if you're a good person or if you do the right things, things will fall into place. Now, obviously, I'm overgeneralizing there. So this is just think of that as just an analogy to help us understand what seeking direction means. Often we want to seek direction from something outside of ourselves because we don't know ourselves well enough. And so all of this work, meditation work, inner work, personal development, whatever you want to call it, is all about getting to know you, getting to know what your excitement is, getting to know what your passion is, the things that you're good at in life, the things that you really want to get better at in life. And again, we've often been taught that, different people are good at different things and that's their gift. And that's fine. We all have exciting things that we're good at in our life and things that we really like doing. But our job is to get better at that, is to get better at being you. Hello, Sharon. Thank you so much for being here. And that's our job, is to get better at the things that we love doing in our life. Often we try to get better at things that we don't like in order to survive. So seeking direction is about connecting back to our internal compass, not what people tell us is the way that we need to go forward in life. That's always interesting information, and let that information mix in with you and let it sort of all come together as like the ingredients of a recipe that help you to find your wisdom of seeking direction. This meditation came about because we're actually, oh, hello, Stacey. No, you're not late. I'm just chatting and talking about direction, so that's okay. We always hear what it is that we need to hear in life. You're never late. You're never late to getting into your life. I mean, I've just turned 59 and I'm starting a whole different chapter of my business, of my life. And it's exciting. So you're never too late to start anything that you want to in life. It's all about your curiosity and what excites you. So I was just about to say that this meditation came about from an old teacher of mine called Stuart Wilde. Now, he's been gone, I think he died in 2014. And he was I think he grew up in Africa, an English writer and metaphysical teacher. And his books still hold up today. So the language is obviously different, but still really interesting. He was a rather mischievous chap, I would have to say. He was very much, he really liked connecting to the inner warrior and the King Arthur theme and really, just going on the quest of life and having an excitement about that. Now, that doesn't mean that I agreed with everything that he did, because a couple of his last books went in a bit of a strange place, and that's okay because, we all have the right to do whatever it is that we want to do. This meditation comes from his CD, which is, we don't have CDs anymore, but that's what it was back then. And so I'm just watching my cat there. Looks like he was about to jump on my painting. Normally I don't have that painting down, but she wanted to be here today. She is a representation of my higher self, Astar. And as a child, I always said, hello, cat. You're never late. We're never late. And that painting is a representation, as I said, of my higher self, Astar. And when I was a youngster, when I was very young, I used to say I was a tree and I loved trees. And so she wanted to be here today. She's normally up on my wall. So that's what that painting is, done by Tony Carmine Salerno, who is fortunately a friend of mine. He is the owner of Blue Angel Publishing, where all my stuff is published through. And I worked at his healing centre, or him and his wife's healing centre, right back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And his wife was my Reiki master. So anyway, just to give you some context there. And I've also done a tarot deck with his images. So, and that's the tarot deck there. Don't know why I'm shamelessly plugging that, but anyway, it felt like it needed to be. You'd all see his work. He's got lots of different oracle card decks on the market. Anyway, besides that, so the meditation came from Stuart Wilde, and his meditation, which is called Where the Raven Flies, I think. So we're actually going to connect to a raven today, and it's going to, so we're sort of going to do a little bit of shape-shifting and become the raven and just fly with it, and it will show you your direction and where you're going and the possibilities that are available for you today. So yes, this can take a little bit of an imagination to go there, but it's just fun. We just go with the journey. And whenever I'm guiding a meditation, always know that the words aren't that important. It is the energy and the intention. So obviously my words are, I'm channeling whatever is coming, and with the intention of the group that we have here today, which is always beautiful. And so it's always slightly different depending on what needs people have. But just know that the words aren't really that important. It's the energy behind it, and it's you going on the journey. So if you fall asleep, if you find that you start going on your own journey, that's fine. That's okay, because that's really helping you connect back to you. So I'm going to choose a card. What will I choose? I'll use the Secret Language of Light. Okay. The reason I like to choose cards, well, one is I create oracle decks and tarot decks, but the reason I do that is because whenever I was in my meditation circles right back when I first started, and then when I was a facilitator in them, I love using cards because they help me. I use them as a reflection of what is going on inside of me, or what the theme of the group is. It just helps us to pinpoint a little bit more, sort of focus in a little bit more. But like all things, if it doesn't resonate, don't worry about it. Simple as that. And if it does, that's great too. But it gives me like an anchor point to start working from as well. And then I like to choose cards afterwards, and I'll choose a few cards for people today if they want, because it just helps us again to reflect what the majority of energies that may be moving within you that we're not quite aware of, because we're also taught to see the world through our mind first. We feel things, yes, but we tend to dismiss them because what we see has been deemed as being more important because we can see it and everyone else can see it. But of course, we're all looking at it from our own perspective, which is different anyway. So, okay, so let's choose a card and see what where we're starting from today, what the energy is today. Okay, so we got, interestingly enough, inward revolution. So I'll read out exactly what that means in a minute. This was inspired by my logo, actually. If anyone has a look on my website, you'll see my logo, which is a spiral. It's made of a spiral, it's made of a crescent moon, and it's made of an Ouroboros, which is the snake eating its own tail. And for me, it reflects the moving inward, that everything is eternal, and also we're moving through the cycles of life, through the moon cycles, which help us to really get to know ourselves. So the inward revolution was inspired by that. So it's pretty self-explanatory, inward revolution. And that name actually came from a book that Krishnamurti wrote. So I'm talking about a lot of my teachers today. So not that I ever had the chance to meet him, because he died back in the early 80s, I think. But he's certainly been an amazing teacher through his writings and videos. So, yes, so there we go. We had Stuart Wilde and Krishnamurti. And again, it's slightly, the language would be quite different, and some of it might be slightly outdated now. But the whole idea of being empowered comes very strong through both of those teachers as well. So where are we? Number 42. So let's read that out. Inward revolution. The way of your heart. You are always moving forward, even when you feel like you're going backward. The path may seem to go up and down or inward and outward. The spiral is a symbol of your soul journey. It represents the cyclical nature and adventure into your heart center. You will continually revisit aspects of your life to bring you to deeper understanding. Difficulties and challenges can command a greater focus as they help to build bigger and better dreams and desires. Each cycle of life is an important stepping stone that expands into the next. Your life will only feel authentic when you come to your own conclusions. And that's really, always remember that. Always remember that. An inward revolution will open you to the wisdom of your soul. It is a path we must all take to truly know and love ourselves. From this place, we move outward, back into the world, empowered with our soul's wisdom. You are worthy of all you desire, no matter where you are in your spiral. So that's what the intention of today is, to really get to know you and to realize that you can't get this work wrong. There is no right or wrong way. There is just what resonates with you. And you'll always know what resonates with you, because it will either make your heart sing or shrink. And we all know that feeling. You know, when someone's saying something and you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure if that really hits home with me. I'm not sure if that really is something that I want to connect with. However, they might have some interesting information that you resonate with, but you just take what you resonate with and you leave the rest on the path. We don't have to battle it. We don't have to tell them they're wrong. We don't have to talk ourselves into it, because all of that's going to cause doubt. And if you start pushing back against something that you don't like, well, you're going to become it as well. So we leave it on the path. We let it inspire us to create something better. Your life will, Kat just said, can you reread the last part? Your life will feel authentic. All right, I'm just going to quickly reread this, so maybe everybody needs to hear this as well. Where are we? Your life will only feel authentic when you come to your own conclusions. Okay. An inward revolution will open you to the wisdom of your soul. It is a path we must all take to truly know and love ourselves. From this place, we move outward, back into the world, empowered with our soul's wisdom. You are worthy of all you desire, no matter where you are on the spiral. So the idea is for us to become more resilient, because the more you know yourself, the more anchored you are in you, the more sure you are of you. And then we take that out into the world. You live your life from that place, and you are less likely to be pushed or feel like you have to move off your center. Now, obviously, the contrast of life is going to split us at times, and we're going to go more positive or more negative. I really don't like that thing, or I really want that. And that's fine. That's the whole idea of life. The thing is, the contrast is never going to go away. It's never going to go away, because that's part of being a human. So we could be screaming for peace all we want, but we're only screaming for peace because we're experiencing war. And war and peace are two ends of the same issue, the same stick, the same whatever you want to call it. So what we want to do is take peace and war, bring them together and create something completely new. Now, that's fifth dimensional thinking, or the next evolution of consciousness, which is sometimes feels a bit counterintuitive to our old 20th century thinking, because that's what we've been taught to do. But we're in the 21st century now, and we're also stepping into the age of Aquarius, which is very different energy to the age of Pisces. Pisces is very much about the family and the feeling and fitting in, and it's really about connecting back to our intuition and psychic aspects of ourself and love. But somehow that went on a really interesting journey over the last 2,000 years. I'm glad that was powerful for you, Kat. So it is the age of Aquarius is going to take us into a place that's a bit quirky. Because if you know any Aquarians, sun sign Aquarians, they can be a little bit quirky. They like to do things their own way. And family the family unit is going to shift. We're going to find love in many different places, love and support in many different places. We're going to create things from the individual perspective. Now, we're all connected. We're all as one. So that's not going to go away. But I feel that the way that we love, or the way that we perceive love, is going to be much more connected to the individual. So that really means, and it sounds so cliched, so I don't really want to say it, means loving yourself. But what does that even mean? To love yourself really just means that you care about how you feel. You care about how you're living your life. You care about how you're moving forward and what you're creating in your life. And again, it's going to take a little while for people to get used to this new energy, which is why we're seeing so much conflict at the moment, because the outdated processes and systems are just crumbling. They're crumbling under the weight of change and crumbling under the weight of outdatedness. So that doesn't mean they're wrong. And Paul is saying, if you love yourself, then you can love others. Maybe. Well, what that means is that you don't need anything from the outside world. Of course, when we really connect back to our center, it's easy to just be with other people because you're not expecting anything from them. You don't need their love to make you feel better. You don't need something from them to fill you up. And so where your relationships will actually shift to a whole new level, which is exciting. And we've all experienced that. We've all sort of bumped into it from time to time. You know, you have those magical moments with people, you know, whether it be your partners or family or friends. We have these magical moments and we just sort of have fallen into it and not understood how we got there. But the reason that that occurred is because you were holding no resistance. You weren't expecting something to happen in a certain way. You had no expectations of, oh, if this happens this way, I'm going to feel better. Well, then that's just conditional and you're handing your power over to something that you have no control over. And then if you don't get the result you want, it feels pretty crappy. You know, and none of us like to feel that rejection in our life. But again, coming back to yourself and feeling that resilience is really will help you to create the life you want to create, because now we're not focused on what other people think of us so much. Because just a question to ask yourself over the next few days is, where in my life do I care more about what other people think about me than what I think about me? Just something to ask yourself and just let that sort of flow into you. And when different things come up in your life over the next few days, just let that question come up. Am I doing this? Is this result occurring because I care more about what that person thinks about me than what I think about me? Because again, we've sort of been taught that as well. And there's nothing wrong with the way that we have lived our lives. We can look back and go, yeah, could have done that better. And countries, I'm sure, look back and think, yes, we could have done that a little better. But blaming something for where you think you are now is only going to hold you in that place. And it's only going to make you part of the problem because you're pushing against what has been. Now, I don't say ignore it. I'm not saying stick your head in the sand. I'm not saying, oh, that's fine that you did that. Well, because people have to be held accountable for their actions. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if something really pushes your buttons, you can't seek direction in where you really want to go from your heartfelt place if you're hanging on to stuff from the past, because it's going to influence the direction that you take. Because we're going to look for assured outcomes, or we're going to look for ways that you don't bump into this thing again. And of course, that just means you're avoiding parts of life. So it's more about just coming to allowance. It's like, well, okay, that thing happened. And if something really spins your head around and splits you in two and hurts you so much, then yes, do some work on it. Find how you can come to balance with it. Or just, and it's not even focus on that problem at the time. Do whatever it is that you can to come back to your center, to come back to your heart, to care about how you feel. Because that negative energy is only going to hold you in that place that you don't want to be. So again, the resilience and seeking direction is, okay, what can I do right now to make myself feel easier? And of course, when we don't have the tools, it's very easy to go, oh, I'll eat something, or I'll go and buy something, or I'll find someone to have sex with, or I'll take some drugs, or I'll drink, or I'll do whatever it is. You know, we're creative humans and we're very good at finding ways to soothe ourselves. But know that all of those ways will are just getting rid of the symptoms, the actual feeling of, oh, I don't like what I'm feeling right now. Okay, let me just distract myself. So imagine if you could just take the time to take a few breaths, care about how you feel, and then say, okay, I can Just be here in this moment. And if you've got some things at home, if you've got crystals or an animal or a tree, obviously we don't want to lean on others because then we're asking them to make us feel better. But if you've got something that you can just touch, like a touch point or something that just reminds you of, oh, okay, yes, I remember that feeling. I remember that I can feel really good. And then emulate that. Breathe it in and breathe it out until you become it. And that's, for some unknown reason, I have my Bashar T-shirt on today. And if people don't know who Bashar is, he's an entity channeled through Daryl Anker. Interesting work. I've been following him for about 30 years. And Bashar has a formula to create the life you want. And the first one is, of course, find your passion. What are you excited about in this moment? And in this moment might mean, oh, I have to go, I'm being inspired to go and water the plants. The plants are telling me that they want water. Weird analogy, I know. But, or it might be, oh, my body needs some water. I'll go and have a glass of water. That's what following your excitement means. It doesn't mean, oh, I want millions of dollars. I'm going to go and follow that. Yes, that could be something that you want as well. But the thing to ask yourself is, why do I want millions of dollars? Do I want it to feel safe? Do I want it to feel secure in my life, that or I want to feel financial freedom? But of course, you can feel all of those things right now. And it is when we want something and we go to the future and we think we're going to be better for it in the future, just know that when the future arrives, it's now. So if you can't find a way to feel good in you now, it doesn't matter how much you have in life, whether it be money, whether it be the relationship, the job, or whatever it is that you want, it's never going to be enough. It will never be enough. And I can tell you that from experience as well. And watching my parents go through that as well, waiting for that time when they would feel good enough to enjoy their life. And then one day they weren't here anymore. And it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're having a better time where they are now. And I'm sure they are. It's not the same as being human and experiencing life as a human. But, that's okay. They also taught me. And if you look at the people around you who may irk you at times, push your buttons, upset you, they're helping you to understand what it is that you're yet to find balance in yourself about. We could say what you're yet to love about yourself, but I try not to use the word love too much because it's a pretty loaded word. And when I talk about love, just for context, I'm talking about creating a space where all things are allowed without judgment. And that to me is what love is. And when I sit with a teacher, or if I sit with somebody who holds no resistance, and you would have all experienced this, you just feel like you can be who you are. You don't have to watch what you say, you don't have to watch what you do, you don't have to watch anything, you just be you. And that is, it's like a relief flows through your body. It's like, and every cell in your body goes, oh, woof, we can do what we need to do now. We don't have to keep trying to find balance. And I'm sure your cells don't actually say that. But however, we are in control of every cell in our body and all of our organs. So it's like, get to know you, get to know how you feel, get to know what foods do to you, get to know what emotions do to you. Get to know you. That's what that means. And the more you do that, the easier it will be for you to move forward in the life that you want to live. So seeking direction today, as I said, we're going to go deep within ourselves. We're going to connect to a raven. You're going to become the raven and just flow with the raven for a little while and see where it takes you. and then we're going to come back, obviously. So again, just use your imagination and go with it. This is a little bit of what I call shape-shifting. And when we do any type of shape-shifting work, that means that you don't see through the eyes of something else. You are that. Because when we really connect back to the heart of who we are, we're connected to everything because we are all as one. And so this is also something that you can try with trees or with animals if you're in the park, or with birds. It's something you can just have a little bit of a play with. So the principles of it are you just gently close your eyes wherever you are, and you just start breathing, and you connect to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then whatever it is you're focused on, whether it be a tree or an animal, and I wouldn't try humans at the beginning because we're pretty complex creatures, so easier to start with something in nature. You can even start with a shell or a leaf and just breathe. And then imagine that you're breathing, that whatever it is you're focused on is breathing as well. It's breathing in air, it's breathing out air. And then you both come into unison and you're breathing together. Sometimes it's nice to sit with your back on a tree and feel the tree breathing in and out. And of course, as it breathes out, you breathe in. And as you breathe out, it breathes in. And you just keep doing this until you feel yourself breathing in and out together. And then as you keep doing that, you will become together. You become one. And now you're breathing as the tree or the leaf or the animal is, and it's breathing as you are, and you are just one. And then you can feel whatever it's feeling. It will feel whatever you're feeling because you are as one. And that's what shape-shifting is. And so, have a bit of a play with that. Yes, it takes some imagination, and no one has to know what you're doing, though. You're only just sitting there with your eyes closed. But yeah, imagination is one of the most important things to help you become more of you and create the life you want to create. Because if you do not believe something is possible, it's not possible. I've got clients that say to me, well, I hope... I really wish this thing, or I hope this thing. And it's like, okay, we've got to do some work, because until you feel that that's 100% believable, that you know it inside of you, that it's possible, it's not going to come. But also if people are saying, I wish and I hope, maybe they don't really want that thing either. They might want the feeling that comes with it, but not actually that thing. They're inspired by somebody else, but not... they don't have to follow their path, their life, their system to get what they want, but let whatever they're doing in their life inspire you to find your direction, to find your inner compass. Okay, so let's just choose one more card. And as I'm doing this, if everyone just wants to make themselves comfortable, did anyone have any questions before we started? Ah, dear, it's 35 minutes. You see, I promised it would be 10 minutes to myself today, but that's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up, because sometimes whenever I just open my mouth, whatever has to come out has to come out. And it keeps going. Okay, so I've chosen the card Balance, which is a lovely place to be as we go into meditation. So if you just want to make yourselves nice and comfortable, whether you're sitting down or lying down, whatever is most comfortable for you, you be that. And so, oh, thank you, Kat. So for you to fulfill your potential, to become all that you can be in every moment, you must be in balance. Otherwise, you are resisting life and creating tension. This resistance and tension are needed to a certain extent for anything to expand, to grow, and to become more. Learn to recognize the resistance rather than letting it run you. Anything you don't like, sense it, feel into it, and the next logical action step will present itself. This step will move you in the direction of your potential, your dreams, and your desires. Take a deep breath and thank whatever has moved you out of balance. Say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for showing me what I really don't want and reminding me to come back to my balanced place where I will be inspired to create what I do want. I am willing to experience all things, for in doing so, I become clearer with my highest loving path. Namaste. So there you go. See, I didn't need to talk for 35 minutes. I just needed to choose the card. Ah, dear. But that is also, that helps us to just get clear. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you, Kat. But because it's the journey that we went on that helps us to get clearer with the information. So, yes, I am being a bit facetious and laughing at myself a bit. That's all right. I can be hard on myself at times because I want, there's always a certain message I want to help people to understand about themselves and to feel empowered. And if it needs to go through this convoluting way, it needs to happen. But of course, that's the spiral. That's the card that I chose to start with as well, the inward revolution. And that wherever you are on the spiral, you're always moving forward. You're never going backwards. So always know that, even if it feels like you're taking a step forward and 3 back, and we've all experienced that. But just know that you're always moving forward. It feels that way because you're expanding your consciousness and you're allowing more experiences in which you haven't experienced before. That's why it feels like you're going backwards, but you're never going backwards. You're always moving forward. Okay. So everyone's made themselves comfortable now. So let me take a breath. I'm also wearing labradorite today, a beautiful crystal. It often looks a bit grey, as you can see there, labradorite. And if you move it around a little bit, you'll get these beautiful luminous blue and greens. And so for me, it's an analogy of life, that when life is looking a bit grey, all you have to do is look at things from a different perspective. Come back to yourself, come back to your balance, and then you'll start to see different things in life. You'll start to see the beauty and the wonderment in life, because it's there, but it's often just hidden by our beliefs and things that we think we have to look at that particular moment. So yes, and labradorite also connects us to higher energies and light beings, interdimensional beings. I'll say extraterrestrial beings as well, but really they're just interdimensional beings. And it's all light, and it's all helping us to become more. And as you expand, as your consciousness expands, you're going to start opening your channel, if you want to call it that, to all the different energies that are in this space. Because if you can just think of this, sorry, we will get onto the meditation, but I've just got a message to tell you this, that oh, that's lovely, Anne, that you've got some labradorite there as well. Think about this space right here, right now, wherever you are. The human part of us sees 3 dimensions: length, depth, width, and a little bit of 4, which is time. Now we're realizing that time is a little bit more fluid. It's not as linear as what we thought it was. But there could be there is infinite amount of dimensions in this space, but we're not aware of it. Just like we know a dog, animals can hear noises that we can't. and other certain animals can see colours that we can't. They can see ultraviolet and infrared. Oh, thank you, Deanie. We know that that's possible, but we can't see it. So in this space, right here, right now, around you, there are infinite amount of dimensions. And if there are infinite amount of dimensions, there could be life, teeming, beautiful life. And whatever it is that you're focused on, you will, as you expand your consciousness, you will start to connect more and more with that. That's why I tend to say, and I think Abraham Hicks says this as well, don't ever worry that you never have to do anything about anything, but just know it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger until you choose to change it. So that sort of takes the pressure off as well. And just know that as you come back to your center and you expand your consciousness, you could start to see things in your peripheral. You might start to experience different energies around you. And because you're expanding into that, and that's what's occurring. So don't be fearful of it, because we're holding the energy of just being in this beautiful space of seeking direction today, and seeking direction, our highest direction, through lots of beautiful light beings. So just go with the imagination. And if something doesn't feel right, just pull yourself back from it. And you don't ever have to go with it for the sake of it. So just be you. Okay, so we're going to meditate now. So make yourselves nice and comfortable. And when you feel ready, just gently close your eyes and open your heart. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And let it out. And take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just feel yourself beginning to relax. Feel your shoulders dropping down and your jaw relaxing. And know that this is a really special time for you. A time for you to know you, to be you, to explore the wonderment of you. Take another deep breath in and imagine that you're drawing your awareness within. And as you breathe out, you just gently, gently let go. Let go of any expectations, annoyances, any upsets. Just let them all gently float away. And imagine now that the room is beginning to fill with beautiful golden light, like the rays of the sun. And this golden light just fills the whole room that you are in, the whole area that you are in. And it swirls around you like a gentle mist, this beautiful golden shimmering light. And as it touches your aura, you can feel a sense of absolute relaxation, calmness, and love. wave after wave of golden light just flows over and around you to support you and to love you. This is the light of your higher self. It is filled with your soul family, your soul tribe, your angels, guides, light beings, and loved ones. And they are forever shining this light towards you in every moment of every day, of every night, to remind you of the love that you are, to remind you of your wisdom. And you can tune into it whenever you want to. And right now, allow yourself to tune into it fully. And imagine that within this light, this eternal light, in every part of this light are the Akashic records. Every experience that you have ever experienced is here with you, because everything happens right here, right now. Time and space give us a way to have time and space between experiences so that we can create even bigger, so that we can evolve and grow and move, which makes you a creator out there on the leading edge, moving this whole universe into whole new ways of being. And maybe you came here for that reason, to experience the contrast of being a human, which creates new ways of being, of living, of loving. And so know that it is always here, always available to you. And right here in this moment, let's just breathe that beautiful golden light in. And breathe it into your heart. And as you breathe it into your heart, you begin to feel your heart opening more and more. Your heart is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. It is the bridge between your physical chakras, your base or root, sacral, solar plexus, and your spiritual chakras, throat, third eye, crown. And these are our personal chakras. We also have transpersonal chakras, chakras that move beyond our physical body. But to become more of you, let's bring it back to our physical chakras. And know that as you open your heart further, you bridge your physical and your spiritual. You bring them all together as one. And we allow the energy of life, the breaths of life, to flow. And so allow your heart to open further and further. Further and further. And you can even imagine, if you want to, that the edges of your heart, as it expands, touch the edges of the heart of the others in our circle today, of everyone that is turned up today. That we are all meditating together from all different parts of the world. Imagine that we are all in a circle together, supporting and loving each other to become all that we can become. And your heart now expands and grows so big that it is enveloping you. And so now you feel yourself floating in your own heart space. How wonderful is that? There is nothing you need to do. There is no one you need to be. There is just simply being you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you will always be you, and you will always recognize you. Feel the wonderment of being at complete peace and love with yourself and all things. And you notice from deep, deep within your heart, a tiny point of light begins to pulse. As it pulses, it grows larger and larger. Pulsing. Pulsing in rhythm with your heart, with your body. And this is the essence of you. And as it grows larger and larger, you can see it is a beautiful, beautiful light. Whatever colour is the essence of you, let it shine. This beautiful light. And in the middle of this light is a door. And this door will lead you to a beautiful place deep within you. And so open up that door and walk through. And you are absolutely amazed to find yourself in the most beautiful place in nature. A landscape that is so beautiful. And somewhere within this landscape is a power spot, a place where you become a portal, a vortex. And so just gently feel your way around. It's like you can see 360 degrees all around you. You can feel it. And you will know this power spot by the way it feels. And it will look like a flame, a tiny flame, just gently floating above the power spot. And when you've found your power spot, you just sit down on it. And as you do, you begin to feel the pulsing of Mother Earth. You feel the heart of Mother Earth pulsing, beating. And she sends green light from her heart to your heart. And now through your hearts, you are connected to the earth. You feel the beautiful, loving energy of the consciousness of our earth, called Gaia. A living being, working in co-creation with us, as we are with her. You are so grounded and centered in this beautiful place deep within you. And something catches your eye up in the sky. And you look up and you see a tiny dark point. And you can see that it is forming a circle. And then you realize that that circle is becoming bigger and bigger. Whatever this is coming closer and closer to you in a spiral. And you begin to see that it is a raven, a bird of messages, of wisdom. And it flies downwards in this spiral formation. And instinctively, you put one of your hands out. And the raven now lands upon your hand. And you can see the blue-black feathers just glistening in the light. And it looks into your eyes. And you feel such wisdom and love as you look into the eye of the raven. It's like you see the whole universe swirling and moving. This feels magical and amazing. And this raven now places its beak on your third eye. And as it does, you start to feel the pulsing, the heartbeat of the raven. Pulse, pulse. And you begin to feel your own heartbeat pulsing in unison with the raven. Until you now feel what the raven is feeling. It is you. You are you. And the raven takes off and you begin to fly. Your eyes are not your eyes anymore. They're the raven's eyes. Your arms are not your arms, they're wings. And you are you in the form of a raven. You will always recognize you, whatever form you take. And now your raven is flying. And it is moving in a particular direction. And the intention of this meditation is for the raven to show you your direction in life from where you are right now. And so for the next minute, you will just be quiet and just allow yourself to fly and see where the raven takes you, or see where you take you. And you are landing now. So take note of what is around you as you touch down back on the earth. There is a message here for you right now. So just open yourself to hearing the message, feeling the message, maybe seeing the message. Your raven takes off again, you take off again, and you fly back to where your physical body sits on your power spot. And you land on the hands of your physical self. And you both begin to focus on your breathing. And as you breathe, you feel the pulsing of your heart. And you now feel the pulsing of your physical body, while you are aware of the pulsing of the raven. You are now gently separating your energies. You feel yourself back in your body, and the raven is back in its body. Ready now to move on your own paths, on your own journeys. But both of you have had this profound experience that brings greater wisdom for you both. And the raven takes flight, and you watch as it just flies in that spiral movement upward, higher and higher, higher and higher, until you can no longer see it. And through that green light flowing from the heart of Gaia, of Mother Earth, she sends a message to you and thanks you for being here today, for anchoring this light onto the earth, for the healing of you and for all, and for the expansion of all and of Mother Earth. And you gently stand up from your power spot, and you move through your amazing place of nature back to the door made of light. You walk through that door into your heart space, and you are amazed to see now that your heart space is filled with flowers. Thousands and thousands and thousands of flowers that are constantly opening up, releasing an aroma, which is the aroma of your soul, the essence of you, and then dying away. And as it dies away, a new flower bud comes forward, and it blossoms and dies away. You have now activated this within your heart, and your heart is filled with these beautiful flowers representing the opening of you. And so when you come back to your center at any time, you come back to this place and you feel the essence of you and the continual growth and expansion of you. You are becoming more of who you are. And now with your intention, you gently start to pull your heart space closer and closer to you. So now you're not floating within your heart space, but it's coming deeper and deeper back into your center. And as you do this, you feel yourself moving more and more into the physicalness of you, into the physical life. Take a deep breath in and pull all your energies back to this moment, to this place. And as you breathe out, feel into the magnificence of your physical body. And maybe start to wiggle your toes and your fingers and feel how amazing it is to be physical. Take a deep breath in and be fully present right here, right now, knowing that you're surrounded by your golden light and that all is well. You are exactly where you need to be, right here, right now. Breathe in and breathe out. And when you feel ready, gently open your eyes and see the world through new eyes. So gently, gently just come back. I've got to come back. So that was a wonderful experience, a wonderful ride, a wonderful journey that we just went on. Thank you. I hope that helped you. I hope that helped you to become more of you. So thank you. Thank you. Always a pleasure, always wonderment. And just take yourself wherever you go and know that you are so much more than you think you are. And so as always, be kind, be curious, and dream big. Lots of love, everyone.